For our psychiatric attachment, we do a session with Storybook, which is some volunteers coming in who have mental health issues, and they come in and they have a chat to us about their experiences. For example, when they were diagnosed, how it impacted upon their life. But I think what was particularly good about it was how they came out of it and how they are now adapting and living with their mental health condition. As a society, we tend to have this idea that people with mental health issues can't function, or that they live some sort of strange parallel existence. I mean, if you asked your sort of average man on the street of what reminds him of somebody, for example, who has schizophrenia, he might point to sort of the Norman Bates character or something far-fetched and very Hollywoody out there. The interesting thing about meeting these people was actually they were normal people who just, their lives became affected by a mental health condition. They dealt with that and they've carried on living a normal and healthy, happy life. We sort of walked in and we were a class of, I think, of about 20 odd people, and there were 3 tables, and sat at each table was a Story Shop volunteer, and we were invited to go around, sit down and just talk and ask questions, really engage in a conversation. The Story Shop people obviously were there to talk about their life, and they did that, and then we were given an opportunity to interact with them, to ask any questions about anything that we wanted. What was quite nice about it was they were very, very candid. They were very happy to answer any and all questions that we had, be it somewhat trivial to the big things and the really deep-rooted questions, such as, you know, how were you? How did this impact your life? At your darkest moment, what was this like? Up to the trivial stuff, such as, how are you feeling today? How's everything going, and all that sort of stuff. And I think it gave us a good opportunity to get a grasp of a timeline of their mental health condition. Having a psychiatric attachment as part of a 4th year, you get the opportunity to interact with patients, and you get to be able to talk to them. So we do a basis that's within the ward, so we were based at Highbury Hospital, and then it was out in the community, and it gave us the opportunity, and it gives medical students the opportunity to interact and meet with people both in their home and in a clinical setting. All medical students are obviously the future doctors, and I think it would do well to both destigmatise the condition from a medical student point of view, but I think it would also do very, very well to see, actually, from the volunteers' point of view, actually here are future doctors who care about mental health, who actually have an idea about mental health, who won't be dismissive of that patient who's particularly having a psychotic episode, who won't just, brush them off as, oh, that's what he's like. It'll give them an opportunity to say, actually, the medical profession cares about me. And I think it'll benefit both sides. The biggest thing that I took away from it was actually there is kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. For a lot of these people, as I say, they were able to regain back to the life that they had prior to their mental health illness. And I think that's a very, very important message to take forward. I think we tend to see a lot of mental health issues as lifelong, and so we condemn people to a particular standard of life, and I think that was one thing I took away from it. What was also really good about it was that they were talking to the next generation of doctors, and so if they can get their message across, and even if it has a small impact, I think the hope for them would be, well, actually, if I come and see this person in A&E, or if I come and see them on whatever ward, if I've got a stomach problem or whatever, if I come see, actually that person knows me and knows my mental health condition, but also has an experience of other patients with mental health conditions, and so will bear that in mind when they're treating me. But I think it has impacted upon me in so much as I think if I were to see a patient with a mental health condition, I think the idea is to see the person behind the condition more than just the condition.